Hello, happy Tuesday everybody. I hope you're all okay. I hope everyone's well. I've been back in the house about 7 minutes, so I'm a bit bedraggled, I'm afraid. You're going to have to just put with me as I am. So we've packed the van. The van came very late. I had to have a very stern word with Enterprise. I had to put my fisher's head on and go full, no, not quite full Karen because I was right, but you know, get a bit arsey with them. So, but the boys came over, which was amazing. The three of them were off today, so they came over and gave us a hand. So we got the van packed super quick time because we're off to Sandown in the morning. And then I left work and I had to go and pick Roz up from work and then go pick up little man from nursery and then drop them home and get back to the house, which was about 7 minutes ago. So it's been a little bit crazy, and then I'm like, I've got 7 minutes, I've got to do this. So hopefully you're all okay, and it's going to be like a little 10-minute calm. Well, it might be a bit longer than 10 minutes, but you know, a little 10-minute calm and breathe, and you're going to come and say hello to me. So hi Natalie, hi Anne, hi Linda, hi Tina. Hello my darlings, how are you all? Who's coming to see us in Sandown? Is anybody coming? Is anybody that way? Is anybody going to come and see us? I do hope you will. If you are about, come and say hello to this on the stand and introduce yourselves so we can put faces to names. It's so nice when people come and say hello. I had a lush weekend. It was busy. We had an amazing class on Saturday. We did a foundation paper piecing class and a lovely bunch of ladies. Busy class. It was really full, which was nice. There was 18 ladies there, but we had a brilliant time and everybody did fantastically. It was really good. It was really good. Hi Sue. Hi Carol. Hi Carolyn. Hello my darlings. We're going to do something relatively simple tonight. Really nice and easy. We're going to make a tie-sided cushion. As I told you last week, I've been rewatching although I'll get to that in a minute, I've been rewatching the Sewing Bees, the old ones. And does anyone remember in the first series when they used to do a little project each time and they did a tie-sided cushion? I thought, we haven't done one of those. We could do one of those. It's such an easy little project and it looks really swish as well. It's lovely. Hi Melba, hi Margaret, hello. Hello lovelies. Thank you for joining us. So, but on that matter, I was like halfway through season 3 of rewatching it, of Sewing Bee, and now they've suddenly disappeared off iPlayer. Really annoying. There's only seasons 8 and 9 on there, but never mind. I'll find them somewhere else. They're going to be on Netflix or something, aren't they? So, how have you all been? Have you all been good? Hopefully you have. Yeah, we've had a pretty, touch wood, today has gone okay. Today's been pretty okay. So, what we're going to do is we're going to make one of these cushions. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to take you over to the overhead over here. And we're going to do one of these tie-sided cushions. It's a really, really simple thing to do. We're going to make some ties, which I know we did the other day on the bag, but this is a different way of making it because I want to make them double-sided. We're basically going to make our ties like this so that they've got a bit of each fabric on them. So you will need 2 fabrics for this. You're going to need a main fabric and what I'm going to call a lining fabric, although it's not really a lining, but it kind of is. And from your main fabric, so I'm using this beautiful Liberty, it's called Pebblestone. I just really love this fabric. I love the greys and these soft muted pinks and blues in it and yellows. It's just gorgeous. So from your main fabric, you're going to need 4 pieces, which measure 16 inches by 2.5. Okay, you're going to need 4 of those, and you're going to need the same in your lining, all right? And then to make the actual cushion, you're going to need, in your lining, you're going to need 2 pieces which are 16.5 by about 9.5, you know, 1/4 of a metre. Basically, if you've got a 1/4 of a metre, long quarter, whatever the width of that is, which is about 9.5, but 16.5 inches wide. And then from your main fabric, now this could be anything. I'm going to use this as an all-over fabric, you know, one fabric all over. But there's nothing stopping you doing a block and, you know, adding a border to it and then making the right size backing for it. So, but I've got this in one long piece and it is 16.5 inches wide. And that's straight off the bolt, so that's where it's folded. And it wants to be 37 inches long, okay? So basically you want that's a square, isn't it? 16.5 by 16.5, but I've got it in 2 pieces. If you wanted to maybe use a block up, do a 16.5 inch square for the front and a 16.5 inch square for the back, all right? But I'm doing it all in one. Hi Lucinda, hi Eileen, hello my darlings. So first things first, we're going to hem these two. All right, so on one of the long edges, we're going to put a little double hem. Okay, we're going to iron that in, and then we're going to hem, just sew it down, just top stitch it to hem it. Oh, fraying my fabric and all sorts. So we're just going to fold over about 1/4 of an inch twice, give it a good press, and I just want to hem these first, okay, before I do anything else. And then we're going to join this up. No, we're then going to make the ties and then we're going to join it up. So fold over once and then over again. So hi Nikki, hi Jenny, how are you everybody? Anybody got any news to tell me? Anybody got anything exciting? What did you get up to this weekend? Did anybody do anything nice? Did anybody do anything unusual? So what did we do? We had all the kids came round on Sunday, which was nice. So my Rory, my eldest, and Cara, because obviously it was Father's Day. Phil cooked, but then he enjoys cooking, so believe you me, that was no trouble for him on Father's Day. We all had dinner together, which was really nice. Yeah, it was just a nice, chill, gentle weekend. I really enjoyed the class on Saturday. That was really, really nice to do, actually. Really, really fantastic class. It was lovely to see people. So what I'm going to fold over, and we're just going to top stitch along these two, okay, just to hem that edge. So we're going to whip over to the machine. I took my machine to class. But it never got out the bag. Didn't get a chance. We were busy teaching. So it was grandson's 10th birthday party on Sunday. Ah, lovely. Amazing. I hope he had a lovely, lovely day. Happy birthday. And Nikki, you flew back to Spain with Charlotte. Nice. Very nice, Nikki. Hope the weather's beautiful out there for you and you get a really lovely nice few days. So I'm just top stitching all the way down. There we go. Nice and easy, just a little double hem. I mean, if you didn't want to bother hemming it, you could just pink and shear it, because this is going to be on the inside, but I thought, why not? I'll hem it. So, oh, get rid of that one. There we go. And then pop this next one in, like that. So I'm being driven slowly mad with curiosity, because as some of you will know, my husband and I are renewing our vows in Kefalonia in September, and he's bought me a new engagement ring, because I haven't had an engagement ring for about 8 years because I lost a stone, blah blah blah, long story. Anyway, he's bought me a new engagement ring. And he's had it designed, bless him. It's completely unique to me. It's been designed and made for me, which is fantastic. I'm very excited about that. However, it arrived today in a bag. I had to sign for it. He's not here. He's gone back up to London to work. He's not here. And I had to sign for it this morning. Oh, where am I going? Over to here, over to number 3. So just, not that you can see it because I've used grey on grey, but I've just hemmed those edges on one long edge on both. Okay. So yeah, it arrived. I had to sign for it this morning. I texted him and went, there's a ring-shaped boxed package turned up. And he was like, oh yeah, okay. So pop it somewhere safe for me. And it's the curiosity is, because I don't know what he's bought me. I don't know what it is. The curiosity is absolutely killing me. Now, I love a surprise, I do. But the fact that I know it's in the house and I don't know what it looks like. Oh, it's driving me potty, people. Driving me absolutely potty. Is anyone else like that, surprises? Do you like surprises or do you hate surprises? I love a surprise, but I'm also a control freak and I hate not knowing what it is. What's that? Natalie, you went to a quilt exhibition. There's some talented ladies there. Ah, fantastic. Oh, pop some pictures on if you took some, hun. Nikki, it's very hot. Spending a lot of time in the pool. Nice. Very, very nice. I can't wait to go on holiday. Right, so before we do anything else with the main fabrics, we are going to make the other ties. So I've already done 2 of them, but we're going to make the other 2. So you're going to pair them up with a main fabric and a lining fabric, like that, right sides together. Now, when we did the ties the other day, because they were all in one fabric, we did that little folded method. This time we're going to do something different. So he doesn't know how the box was wrapped, you could always unwrap it and repack it and he would never know. That is true, but John, I know. And there's little me goes, oh, I could get in that package so easily. I could sneak a little look, but I also don't want to ruin the surprise because there's something like really nice about the surprise, but I'm really conflicted. I'm really conflicted because I want to know, but I don't want to ruin the surprise, which is not good for my control freakness. So anyway, I've put these right sides together and then we're going to fold them in half. So I've got the folded edge here and I'm just going to use my ruler, get the 45-degree line along that folded edge like that. Can you see it? I've got the point just here and I'm just going to chop this little bit off so I've got that nice neat point, and you know it's symmetrical as well then. Okay, like that. Okay, so I've got that nice point now and I'm going to do the same for this one. So fold it over like that. I know, John, I was talking to my friend Jackie and Sarah Jane in the shop, and Jackie was like, you could open the package and have a look. And I was like, I could probably very easily get into that package and have a look, but I know I shouldn't. And I shouldn't ruin the surprise. But it's killing me. It's just sat there. I put it on his bedside table, this package. And I really want to open it. I really want to know what it is. Right, back over to the machine we go. Yeah, I am, John, I'm exactly the same. I need to know because the curiosity is killing me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use edge of foot. I'm going to sew all the way down to here, round the point and back up the other way, leaving this short edge open. Okay, the curiosity is absolutely killing me. It's been driving me potty all day. I wish he hadn't told me it was being delivered here, because then I would have just thought, oh, he's just ordered something, you know, it's just, you know, some fishing kit or something. But because I know what it is, oh, driving me crazy it is. I mean, we did go, when we were in Amsterdam, we did go ring shopping and we did have a good look at lots and lots of rings and what I wanted and everything. And then he said, will you just trust me to do it? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. You can now choose what I get. So, and he's pretty good with presents. I have to say, he's not usually off the mark. You know, now and then I've had a couple of duds, but 99.9% of the time he's pretty good with presents. So I'm sure it'll be lovely. But I really want to know. I really want to know. Okay, so I've just left this bottom edge open and I'm just going to do the same with the other, and then we're going to trim them and turn them through. So, yeah, it would be awful, wouldn't it, Carol? I don't want to ruin the surprise because, you know, he's gone to a lot of trouble and effort and everything. So I'm not going to ruin the surprise. But the curiosity is driving me crazy. What's that, Natalie? No pictures. You're too busy marrying the quilts. Ah, never mind, lovely. What quilts exhibition was it? Was it like a local group that you went to see? There we go. And then up this one like that. All the way down. Like that. There we go. And then down the other end. So super simple to make these little ties. Nice, easy bit of sewing. I've still got my machine on like half speed to stop the camera bouncing. So when I put her on full speed, because she's so powerful, that's it. It goes, the camera goes everywhere. Okay, back over we go. And then I'm going to trim these down. So I want to get rid of the majority of this bulk here. So I'm going to take it down to like 1/8 of an inch seam allowance just on the point, like that. And then take off that little bit there as well. It just gives you a much nicer, neater point, okay, when you turn it through. And take off that bit and then go up the sides. There we go, like that. Get rid of that bit. And then we get to turn them through. You're coming around your house, temptation away from you, Lind. John, I'm loving watching you stitch while my long arm stitches out a group quilt entry you have for festival. Oh, amazing. You feel like you're multitasking. Well, you are, lovely. It's, yeah, you're watching me stitch and doing a quilt for festival. We're putting a group quilt into Harrogate. Maybe we'll do one for festival next year, guys. Anyone want fancy putting one into festival? Should we do one? We'll have to start planning it soonish though. but we are putting one into, we did one in Harrogate last year, didn't we, ladies? And then, there we go. So, I mean, this thing, old plastic knitting needle, brilliant for turning through, because you can push against this flat bit and it's not going to ruin your fabric. And then you can then use the point to get the edges out like that, and it doesn't, you know, because it's nice and long for these ties, it works really well. And then I'm going to give that one a press, and then I'm going to do this one first. They were local but slightly further away from where you are. Ah, lovely. Oh, I will keep a lookout for your group quilt on at festival then, John. Come and say hello. Obviously you're going to be there, so come and say hello when you're about, lovely. We've got a biggish stand at festival again. Let's hope it was as busy as it was last year, because it was amazing last year. We had a fantastic show. Met lots and lots of people, which was lovely. Here we go, up we go. And then turn it around and use the point like that, just to ease out all of those. So you've got nice, neat points. Got it. So we can give these an iron, and we're going to top stitch them, and then we can put this all together. It's a really quick thing away, and you know I love a cushion. You know I love cushions, and I like to change my cushions quite regularly. I think it, you know, just makes a room look really, you know, you can change the look of a room really quickly, can't you, by changing your bits and pieces, like your cushions and your rug and stuff. So I do like to change my cushions regularly, and this is such a nice method. It looks quite swish when it's done. Looks quite expensive. Right, so there we go. That one's all pressed out. And then we're going to do the same on this one. So, you'd be up for another group quilt. Lovely. Yeah, definitely, Natalie. I think we could do one for festival. What do you reckon, guys? You know, people worry about putting quilts in festival, but I think it'd be all right. We'd be good at that. Mind you, I mean, some of the quilts at festival, they're just unbelievable work. I mean, they're works of art, aren't they? They're not, you know, just quilts as such. They really are works of art. Okay, so giving those a good iron, and then we're going to top stitch again. Leave this bottom open, top stitch all the way around, about 1/16 of an inch in from the edge. Okay, so over we go. You'd be up for a group quilt. Lovely. So yeah, okay, my darling. So obviously we've got the one going in Harrogate. So well, that one will be September, and then I'd like to put one into Malvern if we can next year. So maybe we'll start looking at that, and maybe it could go into Malvern and festival. You know, that might be quite nice, mightn't it? I'll start working on some ideas. Something that we can all join in with. I won't make it a really tiny block like I did this time, because half of you were like, no! Okay, so top stitch away. Don't forget, we've got the brand new quilt along starting next week, and we'll be fab putting one in to festival. You certainly wouldn't put an individual one. I know. I mean, I've been teaching, well, I've been patchworking and quilting for 22 odd years now, and teaching for what, 8-10 years, you know, and I still feel completely inadequate of putting anything in festival. But I think it would be nice if we put a group one in, wouldn't it? You know, it's been such fun doing the last one and then putting this one together ready for September's Harrogate, so why not? Please not a tiny block again. Okay, I won't do a tiny block again, but we have got to think about the sizing. So I might have to come up with something. What I'll do is I will check what the sizing is for festival. There's so many of you that want to join in. I think for the one that we've got going into Harrogate, there's 83 of you sent us blocks. There's 83 blocks going in it, so that's why it had to be a little one. Right, all the way down. There we go. So that's kind of the only tricky bit of this. Well, of course I could do an individual one. I'm not sure I could, lovely. Have you seen some of those quilts at festival? I mean, they are genuine works of art. They really are. I mean, I'm a decent quilter, but I'm not to that standard. There we go. Right, so I've now got 4 ties. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and they're double-sided like that. we're going to take your main piece of fabric. So if you've done two 16-inch squares, if you've done maybe a block on the front, or you've done, you know, different fabrics, just join them together. I would maybe French seam it. Okay, just French seam it on and join it together, just so you've got your enclosed seam is nice and tidy. Okay, so on one of the short edges, this is the 16.5 inch, like this. There we go. We're going to start by putting 2 ties. Okay, now I want them so that when they flip out, the main is against the main like this, and the lining will be underneath. If you put them that way round, which you think might be right, when that flips out, it's going to be the other way. Okay, so you actually want them with the lining fabric up. And we want to measure in about 4 inches from the edge. So I'm measuring 4 inches from this edge, like that. I'm measuring 4 inches in from that edge. Actually, 3.5. 3.5's better. I remember now when I made the last one, 4 was a little bit too much. 3.5 in. Like that. So 3.5 in, and put that one there. Chuck a pin in, hold it in place. And then 3.5 from this edge is just, oh, where is he gone? Just there, like that. And pop a pin in, just to hold that for now. Okay. Then you're going to make a little sandwich. So not the hemmed edge, you want the raw edge here up against that raw edge like that, and sandwich in those ties. Who's made this sort of cushion before? I'm sure you have. What's that one? You'd be too square to put your quilts in, but think joining in with a group quilt, it's not so scary. That's true, absolutely. Yeah, John, oh yeah, your quilts won't be great like those amazing quilts. I'm sure it'll be beautiful, darling. Absolutely gorgeous. But yeah, I mean, some of them, they astound me with their skill and beauty. They really do. I would love to, one day when I retire and I just can make quilts just for me, maybe I'll put something in. There we go. So I've got that all sandwiched in with my ties under here, and I'm going to stitch down along here now. Okay, so back to the machine, and off we go again. I'm just going to make sure the jewel feed's on for this, because I'm going through a slightly thicker bit. Not that this machine needs it, I have to say. It handles pretty much anything. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do about a 1/4 inch seam allowance on this one, because I'm going to, when I turn it around, we're going to top stitch it to enclose the edges. So I want to go slightly smaller on this seam allowance. So when I do edge of foot in a moment, it'll enclose these raw edges. Like that. Make sure your ties don't, here, look, this one was trying to sneak out. So make sure they don't get caught up under here anywhere. There we go. Like that. And cut that edge there. Come on, back over we go. Take those pins out. Like that. Now, if you're being really frugal with your fabric, you can, if you want to, make the second flap, which I'll show you now, slightly smaller, if you're just being really, really frugal with it. What you want to do now is just roll out that hem. So roll it out with your fingers. You know what I mean by that, don't you? Roll it out like that. Get that seam right at the very, very edge, like that. And then we're going to give that a press, and then we're going to top stitch down, and then we're going to top stitch down it at the full width edge of foot, and all those raw edges under there will all be enclosed nicely. So a bit like a French seam, but the opposite way, really. So there we go. Just give this a very quick press, and then we're going to repeat this for the other side. Once you've done one of these, you'll whip through these. If you're making stuff for charity makes or anything like that, these are a real quick make. They're really, really fast to do. And you can do them, you know, with like, you know, all random colours of fabric. You know, use up your orphan blocks and things like that. So let's make sure those ties are out. They don't use much fabric to get really, you know, classy, expensive looking cushions. All the way down. Going to go a weeny bit faster and hope the camera doesn't shake. I think we're okay, aren't we? And done. Oh, come on. Didn't press the button properly. There we go. So that's that side done. Okay. Back over, and we're going to repeat that process on the other end. So you can see, oh, hang on. You can see I've got those ties nice and trapped in there under that little flap here. And there's my hemmed edge. We're going to repeat that over here. So I'm going to do this a bit quicker now, guys. All right. So 3.5 in. Put that one on like that. Pop a pin in just for now. Ooh, just get that. And then 3.5 in from the other side, which is just there, like that. And then sandwich it all in with my raw edge, right sides to right sides, like that. A couple more pins in, and away I go. So, has anybody made any of these before? Have you done this sort of tie-sided cushion? What's your favourite method for cushions? See, I use Zippity Doo-Duns, June Taylor zips in a lot of my cushions because it's so quick. But I do like an invisible zip, but I'm always a bit scared of an invisible zip. I don't know why. I've just never quite got the hang of them. So I don't tend to do them very often because I always tend to make a bit of a mess of them when I've done them. So, smaller seam allowance to start with. There we go. Now, like I said, the second side, this is just decorative. You're not going to be holding the cushion in with this, so it could be smaller if you wanted to. You could make it like 5-6 inches wide, but I was like, well, I'm going a bit posh because it's Liberty, so I'm going to go with the same on both sides. Okay, I'm just going to whip these pins. Oh, what have I done? I've got the thread caught. Ah, no! What have I done to my machine? Got the thread caught. Come on, release. Hopefully that's okay. Oh no. You do envelope backs nowadays. Right, so back over here. Yeah, I do like an envelope back, and it's quick, nice and easy, isn't it, an envelope back? I do quite a lot of envelope backs, but I might do more of these tie sides because I think they look really swish. I'm going to trim off that excess bit there. And there. And then quickly iron it, and then we're pin out of there, pin out of there, and top stitch it. And then we've got 2 sides to do, and we're done. And then I've got a little cushion in it here, which I'm going to show you then how to put it in and how swish it looks when it's done. There we go, like that. So just very quickly press that. Sorry, I know I'm off camera, but it's just easier than me keeping moving the board a second. You don't need to see me press, do you? Back over to the machine and top stitch again. There we go. So what was I going to start to say, didn't I, about the quilt along? The quilt along will start next Wednesday, which is the 28th, I believe. So a week tomorrow. Oh, I pressed the wrong button. That's because I'm trying to look at the comments and sew. I will put the cutting instructions up for the first block on Monday, okay? Now, bear with me, it might not be Monday morning, but it will definitely be up on Monday, okay? Which will give you time if you want to cut out, but remember, you don't have to worry too much. You don't have to sew with me. You've got the whole, you've got 2 weeks to make your blocks and stuff, so you can just watch and everything and then sew along later, nearer the time, okay? Back over here. Right, so I've got this big long thing that doesn't look much like a cushion cover at the moment. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put this right sides together. So these edges here, right sides together like that. And there. Give that a shake out. Make sure that those ties are out of the way. Up there. And we're just going to stitch down these long edges now. But one little bit you want to make sure is that everything is nice and lined up and lined flat. So use no pins, definitely would pin here. So I'm pinning that bit in there in place to keep this one nice and flat. Matching those edges there, like that. And then we're going to do the same this side. There we go. See, that's flipped up, so make sure that's all lined up nicely. Yeah. And up there as well. Ooh. dodgy pin. Need to sort Dave out. He's full of dodgy pins, he is. There we go. And then down there as well. So I'm just going to stitch along the 2 straight edges, okay, now. Those raw edges there. Where are we? Over here. You frequently use ready-made backings for cushions and envelope backs. This method looks real swanky. I do think this looks very, very swish. That's a really good idea though, Eileen, using a ready-made cushion cover and then just, you know, using the zip and or the envelope back or whatever it is on a, you know, you can go to charity shops and buy, you know, cushions and stuff, cushion covers. Make a new front for it. Do something, you know, really pretty on the front and use something that's already existing. Why not? Just make sure that lies nice and flat. All the way up. When I get to the top here, I do want to just lock stitch that off like that. Now you could French seam this if you wanted to. I'm not because of time and Josh is cooking tea, frankly, so I'm being quick, but I could do in a moment, I'll show you. You could enclose the seams like we did up here. Do this as a smaller seam allowance, and then you can do like a faux piping then on the outside. There we go, all the way down. There we go, nearly there. In fact, well, we've got time for me to quickly do the faux piping with you. Here we go. Okay, so back over to here. Take all those pins out. There and there. Oh, there's one down there as well. And then you can turn this right side out. So now I know these are raw edges. You could zigzag up that edge if you wanted to, or you can turn it right side out like this. Oh, get your finger in that point there. Get your knitting needle back out. Get your points out, and then what you can do is do a bit like we did with that top hem. Roll this out like that. In fact, we've got time. We can just very quickly do this. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to stitch from here with a slightly bigger seam allowance all the way down, all the way around there, and all the way back up, and it gives it like a faux piped edge then. Okay, so it's back over here. Oh, I do love this fabric. Now I haven't ironed it, so I'm being a bit naughty. So I'm going to do a slightly bigger seam allowance just to enclose all those edges. So there we go, down there, and I'm just rolling that seam out with my fingers as I go. So this is about a 5/8 of a seam allowance I'm doing. It's like an Oxford edge, like you do on an Oxford edge cushion, where it gives you that slightly faux piped feeling. Roll that out. Stop there. I'm going to go along the bottom. All the way along. There we go. Again with that 5/8 allowance all the way down that side, and then back at this side, and again I'm just going to roll that out a little bit with my fingers, make sure that edge is nice. That seems like nice. And you're just enclosing, all you're doing is just enclosing those raw edges. You're watching auto-generated captions. I'm intrigued to know what a faux python is. That's a fake snake. You like snake in a can. Faux piping. I'm obviously not enunciating correctly. Faux piping, darling. I need to put my posh voice on. A faux python, I love it. Oh, that's it. That could be a 1 o'clock. We'll make a faux python. We'll make a toy snake. A fake snake. There we go. That's the common version. Faux python is the fake snake. And then we're just going to reverse back on that one. There we go. And chop it off. And we're done. Now, obviously, you're going to clean up all your threads and stuff. But my cushion is now done. Okay, so we're going to pop a cushion in it inside like this. Good old trusty ones from IKEA because they're so cheap. And they wash really well as well. In like that. Okay, so get that right down into the corners like that. And then, hopefully you can see this. I don't know if I'm going to be too close. You're going to tuck it in just like you would when you're making the bed. You're going to tuck it into one of those little bits. Now I've got to do that bit just off camera because I've got to wiggle that in like that and like that. And I'm going to knock the camera if I try and do it underneath. There we go. So you're going to wiggle that in underneath, which is a little bit tricky, but it does keep the cushion in place, which is nice. Get that into there like that. Okay, here we go. Give it a good pummel. Make sure it's all nice and in. So can you, hopefully you can see that's all tucked in under there, which is why this piece could be a smaller section if you wanted to. And then you just tie some pretty bows. So like that, we're just going to make a pretty bow. And I quite like the fact you can see the lining fabric when you do this, like that. Make those pretty there. And tie this one this side. Obviously I've got a few threads and all there I need to deal with. Actually I'm going to retie that one so that I can actually, so got it on the back and I'm going to twist that one so it comes out like that. That's better. Come on, I'm trying to get that so it sits like a proper bow. There we go. Okay, I'm not going to retie that one, but you, well, actually I am, because that's going to really bug me. That's the wrong way round. Here we go. So like that. Like that. I'm trying to remember how my mum taught me how to tie bridesmaid sashes and stuff.
Sorry to interrupt.
That's right.
Your dinner's going to be in the oven whenever you're done.
Thank you, darling. That's kind of you. Here we go. Pull that through like that. And you've got that really pretty bow detail on the side. Can you see that, guys? What I'll do is I'll come over to there we go, and I'll hold it up for you. So you can see you've got that really pretty tie detail on the side, which makes, I think, it look a very, very swish. You know, can you imagine if you're, I mean, I think they look beautiful in one fabric, but you could do, what's the word, you know, a block on the front or anything, or make this a 16.5-inch block if you wanted. But I do like this little detail here. Also means it comes off for washing nice and easy. So if I go back, hopefully you can see that properly now. Okay, so there, that's a little tie-sided cushion. Mega quick, mega easy to do. There you all are, ta-da now. Yeah, yeah, ta-da. There we go. So, but yeah, I like these. I think they're really good. They'd also be good if you were covering maybe like a dining room chair that's got bars at the back, because you could use these to tie round the struts. And it would hold the seat in place if you were making like a pretty seat cover, wouldn't it? Because you could use this to tie round the strut at the back, or what's the word, on like patio furniture or something. You know, you could tie them through the back just to keep them where they're supposed to be. So yeah, there we go. Tie-sided cushion, really, really simple, nice and easy to do. Use up some of those really pretty fabrics, and I do think that you'd pay a lot of money if you bought those in like John Lewis or something with this little detail. So nice little project for you to do, guys. I'm off. I'm going to go and have my tea. As you heard, Josh just said it's in the oven waiting for me. We are travelling up to Sandown tomorrow, so it'll be set-up day tomorrow, so there won't be any live, but I will do lives as we always do on Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So it's only a Thursday, Friday, Saturday show. There's no show on Sunday, so don't come and see us on Sunday because we'll be gone. So I'll do Facebook lives, but we'll also do some Instagram lives as well. So if you don't follow us on Instagram and you've got an Instagram account, get over there, because we will do different lives over there as well. I mean, between the two of us, we'll show you everything, but you know, sometimes you'll get me chattering, sometimes you'll get Sarah chattering, and that's always a difference of opinion. You know what? Yeah, we like very different quilts and fabrics, so so we're going to try and do some Insta lives too, and then I will see you then the following week, on the next week. For Tuesday, we'll be back to 1 o'clock. Wednesday's the start of the quilt along, so it'll be in the evening at 7, so everybody can join in. and then Sarah will be back on the Thursday. Okie doke. So yeah, that's it, my darlings. Thank you, everybody. Safe trip and enjoy Sandown. We will. And well, hopefully you guys will kind of enjoy Sandown too, because you'll get a live. And please come and see us if you're in the area. It'd be lovely to see you. So yeah, take care, my darlings. I'll see you over the weekend. Bye.